Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the Flight Sim world. And we are back. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. I hope everyone's doing well here today. And happy New Year's Eve to everyone. And happy New Year's to all you guys in Australia and New Zealand as well. So, guys, this will be my final stream for 2023, and what better way to kick off the end of 2023 and the start of a brand new year than to start a brand new journey for you guys here today. We'll be starting off here at Clark Regional Airport, and the goal for this trip, well, it's simple. We're going to be visiting every single sovereign country in the world, even the ones that may be less recognized than others. So I hope everyone's doing well today on this trip. So great to see everyone here, and we got pretty much of a doozy of a flight for us. So we're doing our first day here today. We're going to be taking the Cessna Citation CJ4 right here, and we're actually going to head all the way from Clark Regional Airport, which is, by the way, my home airport, my home. And we're going to fly down to Palm Beach to prepare for the first country we're going to be visiting, which is the Bahamas. Should be very, very exciting, guys. I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend and is having a great weekend. And I bet you guys got some planning to do the for New Year's celebrations. So the flight plan here for today is a very simple one. Here's the route for today, if you guys are so inclined. Here's the route for today's stream. So we'll be starting here at Clark Regional. We'll fly through the Louisville VOR, then make our way east to Lexington's VOR, then make our way south to the waypoint to the Knoxville's VOR here in Knoxville, Tennessee, home of the University of Tennessee. And then we'll make it to Waypoint Twins. Then we'll take then we start doing the Captain 2 approach to Kennel via Kennel, make our way down through Daytona Beach and all that, through Space Coast, before making our way over to West Palm Beach, Florida. Kilo Papa Bravo, India. It's an 802 nautical mile flight. According to SimBrief, this should be an hour and 55 minutes, so we got plenty of time to get the flight ready. But yeah, compared to the DC-3 around the world trip, we don't really need as much. We don't need to worry about being super accurate to the time. We can be much more chill and much more relaxing than the previous one we did. So let's get to our slideshow for today. So this here is Clark Regional Airport, my home airport. So what you guys should know about my home airport? Clark Regional is a public use airport in Clark County, Indiana, located 5 nautical miles north of Jeffersonville in the town of Sellersburg, Indiana. It's also 7 miles north of Louisville. It's a GA reliever airport, and its call sign is Kilo Juliet Victor Yankee. It has been in operation since 1981. It supports 2 FBOs, aircraft specialists, Honecker Aviation, 3 commercial operators, a hangar owner, and military aircraft operator, as well as smaller tenants. It's currently undergoing runway extension to around 7,000 feet, and it can help better accommodate larger planes. So that's something to keep in mind about my home. So the plane we're taking, of course, is the Cessna Citation CJ4, a plane that's perfectly suited for these kind of flights. This plane's perfectly suited for these kind of flights. Fly from one destination to the other side pretty quick. It may be a small little business jet, but man, does the CJ4 really pack a punch. Sure. It packs a mighty, mighty punch. The CJ4, what to know about? Well, for one, this is part of the Citation family of business jets made by Cessna. And they proved to be historically been very, very popular business jets. Over 2,000 been built of the Citation model since 2017. As of June 2017, the CJ4 can cruise up to 2,100 nautical miles. It can take off when at 3,400 feet of runway, and it can reach a max cruise, a max ceiling of 45,000 feet. So, but for today, we're going to be going around 35,000 feet for this one. We're going to have plenty of altitude. So, that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's go ahead and get the CJ4 up and going. Let's go ahead and get the initialized position. So let's go ahead and do the flight plan. Let's see some. I guess we can do. We're gonna go to kennel. There we go. Performance, initialization, cruise altitude is going to be 35,000 feet. Performance, yeah. Takeoff is going to be around. Okay, performance. Um, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this turned on. We're going to get everything turned on and get going. Yeah. $35,000. So let's go ahead and get her taxied. Let's get her taxied to the runway. Um, so yeah, guys, I hope you're all doing well. We're getting ready to get this thing going. So, on. we're going to make our way to taxi 18. I'm going to go ahead and set the trim. Prepare for takeoff. Good. If you guys want to fly alongside us, take any plane that can keep up with the citation, like a longitude, another citation. Maybe if you guys have the Citation Mustang or the Honda Jet, or a military jet like the FA-18, this should be more enough to take care of this as well. All right, guys. Let's prepare for the first takeoff of our around the world trip. Let's go ahead and take off. Clear for takeoff. $80, 100, 110, 120, and we are off. Put on the go ahead and put off the flaps. I'm going to slightly cut down the power a little bit. Autopilot on. Well, here it is, guys. The start of our new around the world trip. So over here, guys, is Louisville, Kentucky. This is my home city, by the way. Louisville is the most populous city in Kentucky, named after King Louis XVI of France, founded in 1778. One of the oldest cities west of the Appalachians. The city has historically been a major transportation hub for well over a century. It's famous for being the home of Muhammad Ali, Kentucky Derby, the University of Louisville Circuit baseball bats, and much more. Louisville is a city of rich arts, culture, sports, you name it. It's been a big deal here in Kentucky. So, very, very important city here as well. Definitely a great place to visit here in the United States, this part of the world. Like I said, it's been a while since I've flown this thing, really, so. And here, guys, you can see here the distance. Now there's two airports right here. This here is the much larger Louisville International Stanford. That is UPS's global hub. Transports cargo all across the country and the world. It also serves some civilian flights, but mainly cargo. The other airport, which is below us, this is historic Bowman Field. Been around since 1919, and in World War II was the busiest airport during the war. They trained tens of thousands of people here at Bowman Field for World War II. Pretty important stuff. So, pretty important stuff. So in terms of Louisville, there are some really cool sites. Of course, you guys should check out Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby. Churchill Downs has a rich storied history. Been around since 1875. Over 100,000 people can fit at Churchill Downs watching the legendary horse racing event. Mm, So, very important event. Another really important place to check out while in the Kentucky Derby is the Louisville Slugger Museum, located in downtown Louisville. It's part of Museum Row, where you can find a lot of different museums, including the one in Fraser, the Kentucky Science Center, and the Muhammad Ali Center. But Louisville Slugger Museum is where the famous baseball bats have been produced here since 1884. And it has a really great museum. You can check out the history of the sport involving Louisville Slugger baseball bats. Definitely a great place to check out if you're a baseball fan. I think it'd be a great out. And the last major place is, of course, Muhammad Ali, dedicated to Louisville's most famous citizen, Muhammad Ali himself, the legendary boxer, an individual, and it features exhibitions regarding his core principles of confidence, conviction, dedication, giving, respect, and spirituality. So that is going to be for Louisville. Hey, Sky Command, good to see you, Sky. Hope you're doing well. Yes, New Year's Day is going to come here very, very soon. I mean, very, very excited for New Year's Day. If you guys don't know about Sky Command, he is a legend in the flight sim community, a great individual, and a great supporter to me and the channel. So, we're doing our first start of our new around the world trip, Sky. We're making our way over from Louisville to Palm Beach. So, we're actually making it from Clark Regional to Palm Beach. We're taking the CG4 today. He has a business jet today. How cool is that? Yeah, good to see you, Sky Command. I hope you're doing well, my dude. So yeah, the reason I wanted to do this journey was because I've always been wanting to do, and I really, really loved our DC3 around the world trip, that we did, starting last year's New Year. We had a great time with that one. We did 10 months and 65 legs. We made our way over to Geneva. We went through France, Italy, Greece, Middle East, Pakistan, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, Macau, Taiwan, Japan, to the United States and Canada, and back to Europe once again. But this time, we're gonna be doing all countries. We're gonna visit everywhere. So that's why we're doing this one. And the reason we're doing this like first is because I wanted to get us closer to our first country we're going to check out, the Bahamas themselves. Since the Bahamas are like really close to where we're at. We're very, very close to the Bahamas. So That's where we're going to end up at Palm Beach, because Palm Beach is the place that is actually the closest location to the Bahamas themselves. So it should be really, really awesome to check out. It's going to be in this series is also going to be a twice a week thing on Fridays and Sundays. So we're going to have this a twice a week series. So it's going to be a twice a week thing. So we got plenty of time to enjoy this series for sure. We will be climbing to 35,000 feet today on this trip. But yeah, there's a lot of flying today. I'm not the only one streaming during this time. Allison's got her big New Year's stream today as well on her channel. Hey Skyman, good to see you, Skyman5667. Welcome on in, first time chat. Great to see you. Happy New Year's Day to you. We're starting our new around the world trip. Here from Park Regional all the way down to Palm Beach, Florida. 802 nautical mile flight. We're taking the CJ4 Citation. We're getting ready to visit our first country on next Friday to the Bahamas. So that's what we're doing here today. Yes, I'm going into the future with the journey. I know. It's pretty crazy to think about, my dude. Yeah, it's going to be in the future. Yeah, very, very excited for what this is going to bring. So, this time I got plenty of notes for my slideshow this time, so I hope you're doing well, Skyman. I'm backwards to Anchorage. Oh, you're heading all the way to Anchorage, Alaska. Speaking of which, Skyman, I did a flight last Sunday from Anchorage. I did it from Anchorage to Louisville, which is my first ever long haul airliner stream before. I never done a long haul airliner stream, so I took the 747-800 from Anchorage over to Louisville, Kentucky, which is UPS's World Hub. And that was quite a fun flight, you know. I never done one on stream before. I've done plenty of long streams on Twitch, and I've done plenty of long haul airliner stuff, not streaming, but never done long haul airliner stuff on stream. Reduce the speed. Knots. We're gonna cruise up to 35,000 feet. Oh, nice. You have FBOs for Pan Am. Nice. Indianapolis, Louisville, Nashville, Memphis, and Fort Worth Alliance. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with a few airports. I've been to Indianapolis in real life during one of my flights. I made it to Indianapolis International, which is a cool airport. It's also FedEx's second busiest hub after Memphis. That's what I know about it. Obviously, Louisville's my home commercial airport. It almost became Firefly Air's hub, but it lost out to Pittsburgh. Nashville International, very fast-growing airport for passenger travel. It's been growing really, really fast. Memphis is obviously it's Memphis International. FedEx's biggest hub. It has the world's busiest cargo airports, and Fort Worth Alliance is a dedicated cargo airport in the Fort Worth area. That's from what I know about those airports. One I know.
Altitude.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to put that standard. But yeah, KJVY FedEx, nice. Well, speaking of FedEx and all that, the A300 just came out, so I'm wondering if you've been flying that, Skyman, flying the Airbus A300-600. Personally, I'm not flying it very much because, well, I'm not an Airbus guy. I'm more of a Boeing type of individual. I'm not much of an Airbus guy either. Oh yeah, the 777. Yes, the 777 is what I really want to see. Yes, I'm a 777 kind of guy too. The 777 is definitely the plane I'm looking forward to the most. I can't wait for the 777. I love the PMDG family. I have the entire fleet. I just haven't flown the 800 and 900 very much because my Virtual airline doesn't really have any liveries for them. But I really do like those planes a lot. Sorry about having to go to external view. I had to make sure that the speed thing doesn't get too high because remember this thing has no auto throttle. The 800 BC is my daily flyer. Yeah, I fly the Cargo 700 with my Virtual Airlines colors. I fly the 700 version a lot. For sure. Speaking of Firefly Air, I fly. This is the virtual airline I fly with, the Two-Tone Murphy's Group, the largest virtual airline in FS Hub. It's completely free. It even works for Xbox pilots as well. It's definitely a great pick if you guys really enjoy virtual airline stuff. The Aero Economy is going to be coming pretty soon. Here for the virtual airline. So definitely be really excited for it. And I do tons of streams of Firefly Air with the community. I've done, and that's what I'm doing every Wednesday now, is for the virtual airline stuff. Since, mm, yeah, yeah, it's just barely enough to go under max load jurors to under 3,000. Ah, cool, thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah, we currently have hubs across the world. We got hubs here in we got 3 European hubs. We have 3 US hubs, including one of them being in general aviation, as well as US hubs in Lake Tahoe and Pittsburgh. 2 South America hubs in Quito and Rio. We have 3 Oceania hubs in Sydney, Auckland, and Queenstown, and 2 East Asian hubs in Shubu, Central Air Airport in Nagoya, and Hong Kong Kai Tak. And then, of course, we have the 3 European hubs in our HQ in Dublin, Bristol Airport in Bristol, and Zurich International in Zurich, Switzerland. That's kind of it of our hubs. Honestly, and I do lots of flying in these hub locations. So that's what we've been mainly been doing. That's what I've been doing for a lot of the cargo stuff. Yeah, that's definitely really cool, and I'm very excited. So now that we're at cruising altitude, I want to go talk a little bit. It's sad it's not Nagoya. Oh, Nagoya. Nagoya's a fine airport actually, and honestly, Nagoya's a perfectly good airport. I didn't pick Nagoya as the hub. The community picked it. Our virtual airline picked it. Oh, I don't disagree with you. Narita and Osaka are great locations. I don't disagree with you, but I didn't pick the location. The community of voters did. All the people that voted for the XP stuff, which is multiple members of the community, they ended up picking Nagoya. And of course, there's also a really nice freeware scenery for this airport. It's actually a super nice freeware scenery for this airport for Shibu. I bet that will the freeware for this is going to change your mind, completely. I thought it was the same thing too, but then when I had that scenery, I realized here's the Shibu scenery. That is a super nice freeware scenery. It's payware quality scenery. And it turns this place into a super nice location. And also, the other thing why people picked Shibu was there wasn't really any VAs operating there. So other virtual airlines out there. So I mean, Nagoya is definitely nice, and I think it'd be great to fly in an area that's probably less visited. I mean, at least the good news about Nagoya, we're pretty close to both Tokyo and Osaka, so we don't have to really worry about it. We're pretty close to both. So, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. And our virtual airlines newest hub, well, we just opened one last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. We opened a new hub in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our community actually voted for 5 airports for that one. We voted between Pittsburgh, Louisville, Nashville, Charlotte, and Washington Dulles. And it was a pretty close voting between all the voters, but they ended up picking Pittsburgh, which while was not my number one choice, I ended up really enjoying Pittsburgh. So that's what I've been ended up doing. But yeah, I've been doing lots of that sort of stuff. And I'm really happy to get an East US hub. So very happy to talk about that. So let's get over to my slideshow stuff. Let's go over talking about why we're here doing this journey in the first place. So of course we're doing the All Countries Around the World tour, but the thing we do on the Around the World tour is based off a sovereign state. Is sovereign states. Now, if you guys don't know anything about sovereign states, a sovereign state is a state that has the highest authority over a territory. International law defines sovereign states as having a permanent population, a defined territory, a government not under another, and the capacity to interact with other sovereign states. It's commonly understood that a sovereign state is supposed to be independent. However, a sovereign state can exist without being recognized by other sovereign states, aka diplomatic recognition. However, unrecognized states often have difficulty engaging in diplomatic relations with other sovereign states due to lack of recognition. So why is this important? Well, this is important because for our journey here, we need to go over these sovereign nations. We're not going to be flying over like Bermuda, for example. We're not going to do stuff in Bermuda because if we include all areas, which includes some of these territories and stuff, it would take a lot longer to get these done because we would have to spend a lot more time flying to each. For example, in the Caribbean, some of the islands here, for example, are not even fully independent sovereign states, like the British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, the Dutch Antilles, like Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, or the Caymans. Those are not independent. They're not sovereign states because they're not independent. So that's very important to know when we do this journey. That's pretty important for us to know. So that is something we gotta know. that's kind of important to know about this. Now, the history of sovereign states. History. So since the end of the 19th century, almost the entire globe has been divided into sections, aka countries with more or less defined borders. Previously, before that, large plots of land were either unclaimed or deserted, or inhabited by nomadic peoples that were not organized into states. Even in modern states, there are large remote areas such as the rainforests of the Amazons that were either uninhabited or inhabited exclusively by indigenous people. There are also states that do not exercise de facto control. Um, Currently, right now, there is around more than 200 sovereign states represented for the United Nations. These states exist in a system of international relations where each state takes into account the policies of other states by making its own calculations. From this point of view, states are integrated into the international system of special internal and external security legitimization. Which is pretty cool. And all this stems from Westphalian sovereignty. Now, of course, you wonder what this picture represents. Well, this is based. The reason it's called Westphalian sovereignty was it was actually named after the Peace of Westphalia in 1648, which ended the 30 Years' War. But basically, this whole concept is based on the territoriality and absence of the role of external agents in domestic structures. That is Westphalian thing. Sovereignty has taken a different meaning with development of self-determination and the prohibition against the threat of use of force for modern national law. And that's based on the fact the UN Charter, the Draft Declaration of Rights and Duties of the States, and Charter of Regional International Organizations express the view that all states are judicially equal and enjoy the same rights and duties upon the mere fact as persons under international law. And the right of nations to determine their own status and permanent sovereignty is widely recognized by Westphalian sovereignty. And apparently, the Westphalian state sovereignty is more or less a clear separation between religion and state, as that was what happened during that time. That is pretty important to learn about it. Yeah, guys. I hope you guys are liking this. I did put a lot of slides for this one because we're going to be in the airliner for a bit. And I want to take a little bit of a break from some of this, so I'm just going to space this out. So let's see who's flying along with us or flying around us. You call that a jet an airliner? No. No, it's not an airliner, but it's a business jet. But it's faster than a general aviation plane. It's faster than the normal GA. Yeah. So we're flying along in the business jets. Sorry. No, we're flying here in the business jet. We're making our way down to Palm Beach. If you guys want to join alongside us, just take something and actually keep up with it. You're free to take the DJ4, the Cessna Longitude. If you have a Honda jet or any other business jet that can keep up with this, definitely feel free to take it. Or you can take a military jet, one of the two. So this is Knoxville, Tennessee. If you guys don't know anything about Knoxville, Knoxville is the home of the University of Tennessee. Very, very popular university in Tennessee. Home to one of the largest stadiums in the world at Neyland, which can seat up to 103,000 people can visit Neyland Stadium. It's absolutely enormous. Enormous venue. Yeah, GA is not always piston, exactly. There's turboprop GA. That's why I said normal GA is mainly, most GA planes are piston, but there's a lot of turboprops and If you think you can get above 390, yeah, I could definitely get to be faster. So down below us here is the Great Smoky Mountains. I've been to this area plenty of times. The Great Smokies are absolutely stunning. You get some great scenery in this area. In fact, I think this was also where I did my first dedicated general aviation stream. Was this one. First of my GA group flight things way back was the Great Smoky Mountains. We flew from Blue Ridge in Georgia. Yeah, we flew from Blue Ridge. And then yeah, Sugar Creek, and we made our way up to the Smoky Mountains through Pigeon Forge. Then we made our way across the mountains into Asheville, North Carolina, before making our way to Boone, Ashe County, I believe. But yeah, that was when I also got raided by Fabio and all that. That was pretty crazy. My God, that's like 2 years ago. Oh gosh, that's taking me back. But the scenery is absolutely stunning here at the Great Smoky Mountains. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, in terms of MSFS news and other stuff going on, um, coming out in 2015, the revolutionary AI-powered ATC, Say Intentions AI, is going to be launched, allowing simmers to interact with air traffic control in a whole new way, which is going to be a very big bit of news. Next is going to be the Howard XF11 is coming to MSFS from the same developer who made the Scrapyard Monster. Lord Freets is actually the man behind Flying Freets has now released another new aircraft, the XF11, which almost killed its creator Howard Hughes. But apparently, Lord Freets managed to find a few rare and original schematics for the plane, allowing for a faithful recreation of both the exterior and interior. It'll feature random failures that could trigger at any moment. And it will feature an impressive flight model, support for modern GPS units, complex physiological systems, functioning circuit breakers, and much more. And it's going to come out in 2024, which looks absolutely incredible. And if you know how good his Scrapyard Monster was, I think you guys are going to be in a treat. All you Avengers players are going to love this type of plane. And I gotta say, the pictures look really good. This could be a fantastic little plane, the XF11. I definitely think this is going to be a payware, but if you can get it at a very good price, I mean, I could be consider it. I definitely think so. Yeah, I agree with you. AI would never fully emulate the Authority. Yeah, that's true. But the AI of MSFS has not been very good. But I could definitely don't disagree with you there. So, so, but I don't disagree with you completely on this. That's true. Yeah, I ran. Oh, that's true. Now, of course, next year for 2024, is got some huge releases for Microsoft. First off, of course, MSFS 2024 is going to come out next year. A whole new sim with updated, with featuring lots of backward compatible marketplace, improved data management. Several new airliners would be included, improved multi-threading performance, updated scenery. It's going to be a pretty crazy thing to look at MSFS 24. Of course, one of the most talked about releases is the PNDG 777. That is going to be a game changer when that comes out. Like, we've already had some really nice freeware, like the A330 from Headwind. That's really nice. The flying title 7.4 and 7.8 are really nice as well. But man, when that PNG 777 drops, it's going to completely change long haul airline flying in the sim. It's going to be amazing. Another one that a lot of people are going to want to see as well. But yeah, it's an interesting concept, Typhon. Yeah, AI ATC is definitely interesting, but at least they're trying something different. Of course, we had the Phoenix A319 and A321, which was just announced earlier in August, but now it's going to come in 2024 and priced around £39, which is going to bring the other two major A320 variants. And I've been on both of these variants, by the way, in real life. The A321 and 319. I've been to those in real life. But it features new visual models, stunning engines. Definitely going to be a really, really nice plane. Of course, the Built A350 is going to be coming out in 2024. There's already another one in development, the Digital Flight Dynamics freeware A350, but Built is going to bring their own payware version to the sim, which is definitely going to be really exciting for all the long haul flyers. So yeah, 2024 is going to be really the sim for a lot of the medium long haul flying planes. Then there's the Aerosoft A330. I know that it faced a few setbacks. But it's going to come out in 2024. So now Aerosoft's doing their own A330. But here's the plane I'm the most excited for: is the Bluebird Simulation 7.5. This is the one I've been the most excited for. Honestly, because if you guys don't know, the 757 is literally my favorite Boeing. And they did a lot of work with custom engine sounds from a real 7.5. They worked very hard on a lot of the internal systems. Um, they did a lot of work on that, and I'm very, very pumped for that. Very, very much looking forward to the 7.5. It's gonna be nice because it's gonna be big. It's gonna be It's got great performance, plenty of seats. I mean, and it can take care of most of the medium haul operations I like to do. So that means I could eventually get a network of short haul would be the 737, medium haul stuff 7.5, and long haul the 777. That will form an incredible Aerosucks. Yeah, I don't disagree with Skyman. Um the CRGs don't have a lot of support, sadly. That's one of the major issues with Aerosoft. Is definitely their issues with updates. They don't update them. You know what the sad thing is for Aerosoft? Like Aerosoft has actually made some great sceneries. I think they need to be more focused on making good. Take some of the people that would make the planes and make them into good sceneries. Instead. Aerosoft sceneries have always been pretty good. I mean, the Brussels scenery. Aerosoft have made some very good sceneries for MSFS. Of course, um, they made the Brussels scenery, the mega scenery for Brussels. They worked on that one. They worked for Berlin Brandenburg. That's a pretty solid scenery. Ben Gurion and Israel. That looks like to be a really good scenery. Own. Like Aerosoft had made really good sceneries. Their sceneries are not the issue. It's just the planes. Yeah, I could definitely relate to you on that. That's for sure. So yeah, I don't disagree with you with that completely. No disagreement in that one. But yeah. Then we have the Fly-By-Wire A380. I know AnyBuilds is working on their own A380, but Fly-By-Wire is going to bring their freeware A380. There's no timeline, but it looks like it's going to be coming pretty soon. Shaving quite well the Fly-By-Wire A380, which if you guys don't know about Fly-By-Wire, they made the freeware A320NX, which was the Airbus mod before what Phoenix did, obviously. There's also the Just Flight Tornado in PA-38 as well, which is the P-38 Tomahawk. There's the Blackbird Simulations Huey and SR-71 that's going to be coming out in 2024. So, and of course, and then in terms of scenery, Flightbeam is going to come out with their San Francisco livery for San Francisco International, which if you guys love flying around San Francisco, and then AnyBuilds is going to release both their Abu Dhabi and Leeds Bradford scenery in 2024. So if you guys visit both these airports, you guys are going to really, really enjoy these two. And that's going to be some of the most welcome changes. So that's going to be the most exciting things about 2024. But yeah, for me, the top two is definitely the 777 and the 75. Because I really love the PMDG 737, so I have very high hopes for the 777. I think I'm just going to stick with the 200, mainly because the 200 is going to have it's going to probably have the freighter version, the regular 777, as well as the ER, LR, and freighter versions. I think are going to be included in the 200 because that's what happened with the 737 700, which came with the normal plane, the freighter variant, and the VIP version. So I think that's what's going to come for. That's what I think is going to come for the 737 version. I think we're going to get the freighter. We're going to get that. Well, so pretty important stuff. So just doing some important flying. If you guys are joining me along in the stream, I'm Viperstrike 95. I've been streaming MSFS since 2021. I've done plenty of flight sim series during my time here on Twitch. I did a baseball series, which was my very first ever series. Did about Major League Baseball in the U.S. Then I did my first historical recreation, the Berlin to Beijing flight in 2022. Traveling through the heartland of Russia from Tempelhof all the way to Beijing, China. I've done plenty of other tours, including the Route 66 flight, and just recently I finished a DC-3 around the world recreation, my first ever around the world trip as a streamer. So I'm going to be prepared to do a second around the world trip today. This time we're going to visit all the major countries. So we're currently on here for the first leg of our journey, the first day. This is day one of our journey. We're making our way over from Park Regional into Palm Beach International in West Palm Beach, Florida, to prepare for the first country we're going to be checking out, which is going to be the Bahamas. That's what we're doing here today. We're flying the Citation business jet. That's what we're doing here today. So, definitely very much an enjoyable stream. We'll be playing about every single country around the world. We'll be talking about every single major sovereign country. So we will be talking about that. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. I didn't know you went around the world in the Citation. Cool. It was tons of fun until I had to cross the Pacific. Oh, yeah, I can understand. The Citation doesn't have the most range. So how did you manage to cross the Pacific? For my DC3 stream, I too had to cross the entire Pacific as well. For us, it was a 8-hour, 1,400 nautical mile flight, from Obihiro to Shimya Island in Aleutians. I bet that's what you take. I bet that's what you did too. I bet that's what you did too. I think you went through Russia to Alaska. I hope that's what you did. That would be a much easier way to cross the Atlantic. Yes, that made sense. That's what I did too when I did my around the world trip, and that's what the recreation did. They took they went up through the Aleutians. And that's actually how I'm going to cross the Pacific for this one too, because I'm not going to be going across the Pacific. That will take way too much time. And for the around the world trips, I try to keep it within 2 or 3 hours of streaming. So Yeah, wait, no 7-hour legs? No. No, not at all. I'm not trying to get through all the places as fast as I can. Um, I'm trying to explore every country, and I'd rather do it, and plus, like I said, I stream on Fridays, which means I don't have the most time in the world, so I'd rather keep it pretty short within 2 or 3 hours. So there will definitely be general aviation and stuff on this. So no massive legs for this one. I mean, we're gonna spend 2 whole days in the Bahamas, as that's what we're doing. I'm not afraid to take more of my time on this one. So yeah, no 7-hour legs. Just try to keep it nice and reasonable. So let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and get back to our subject. Let's talk about how direct the recognition of sovereign states. So state recognition is a pretty big deal for what we are talking about. So state recognition signifies the decision of a sovereign state to treat another entity as another sovereign state. Recognition can either be expressed or implied, and usually is retroactive in its effects. It does not necessarily signify the desire to establish or maintain diplomatic relations. I mean, no definition is kind of binding to the members of the community of the nations or criteria of statehood. For example, in practice, the criteria are mainly political, not legal. Um, in international law, however, there are several theories to how several states should be recognized. There are two main theories. First, it is the uh, constitutive theory, which defines a state as a person of international law if and only if it's recognized by as sovereign by at least one other state. That theory was developed in the 19th century. Under it, a state is sovereign if another sovereign state recognized as such. Because of this, new states could not immediately become part of the international community or bound by international law, and recognized nations did not have to respect international law in dealing with new states. One such example was the Congress of Vienna, and at that Congress, the final act recognized only 39 sovereign states in the European diplomatic system. And as a result, it was firmly established that in the future, new states would have to be recognized by other states. And in practice, it meant recognition by one or more of the great powers of Europe. One of the main criticisms of this law is the confusion it caused when some states recognize a new entity, but other states do not. So that definitely is an issue. And that many states only recognize another if it's to their own advantage. So that is the constitutive theory. The declarative theory that is defines a in contrast defines a state as a person in international law if it meets the following four criteria. Number one, it is a defined territory. Number two, a permanent population. Three, a government. And four, a capacity to enter relations with other states. According to this theory, an entity's statehood is independent of its recognition by other states as long as the sovereignty was not gained by military force. The declarative model was most famously expressed in the 1933 Montevideo Convention, which was signed by the Seventh International Congress of American States during that time. A territory in international law consists of land territory, internal waters, territorial sea, and airspace above the territory. There's no requirement of strictly delimited borders or minimum size of land, but artificial installations in inhabitable territories cannot be considered as territory sufficient for statehood. For example, the term permanent population defines the community as has the intention of inhabit the territory permanently and is capable of supporting the superstructure of the state, though there's no requirement minimum population. The government must be capable in exercising effective control over territory population and guarantee the protection of basic human rights by legal methods and policies. So that is about the two main theories of people recognizing states. In terms of state recognition, states practice relating to recognition of states typically fall somewhere between both the declaratory and constitutive approaches. International law does not require a state to recognize other states, which recognition is often withdrawn within a new state is seen as illegitimate or has come in breach of international law. Almost universal non-recognition has been recognized by Rhodesia and Northern Cyprus, or a good example is Rhodesia and Northern Cyprus. In that case, in Rhodesia, recognition was widely withheld when the white minority seized power and attempted to form a state along South Africa. In the case of North Cyprus, recognition was withheld from a state created, and more. So that is something to keep in mind is recognition. States, I know this seems like getting into politics, which it is, but I try to explain it in too much of a non-political way. Try to make it approachable. And then there is this thing with de facto and de jure states. Most sovereign states are both de jure and de facto, which they exist in both according to law and in practice. However, states which are only de jure are sometimes recognized as being legitimate government of a territory which they have no actual control. For example, during World War II, governments that exiled several states continued to enjoy relations with the Allies, notwithstanding that their nations were occupied by the Axis powers. Other entities may have de facto control over territory but lack international recognition, be de facto states. They are only considered de jure if they're according to their own law in states that recognize them. One such state is Somaliland in northern Somalia. For example, in practice, there is a government there in Somaliland, broke off in Somalia, but it's not a state by de jure. It's not a state by law. And finally, the last thing about this for now is semi-sovereign states. Sovereignty is most conceptualized as something categorical, which is present or absent. And the coherence of intermediate position, the binary has been questioned. In spite of this, some authors admit the concept of a semi-sovereign state, a state which is officially acknowledged as sovereign, but whose theoretical sovereignty is significantly impaired in practice, such as being de facto subjugated by a more powerful neighbor. One of these is Belarus. One potential example is Belarus. With its relation with Russia, even though it's a sovereign state, it's under control of Russia. There's that. So I hope you guys are enjoying the learning stuff with this, enjoying some of this learning. We're just 361 nautical miles out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Like I said, we're not far away from it at all. In terms of wind, it's just a 21 knot crosswind, which isn't bad at all when you get there. Like I said, we won't be flying the jets all the time because obviously GA is where we're going to do most of the flying of this series, but we will still have some airliner stuff, mainly with the ATR. Because, you know, ATR is meant for the really short regional flights. So for me, so here's my thoughts about 2023 for you guys. So 2023 has been an absolutely incredible year for me in the community. Um, I mean, this year has been an insanely great year for the community, guys, and I want to say a massive. So I want to say a massive shout out to all you guys here. 2023 was an absolutely amazing year for me in the community. We accomplished a lot this year. Obviously we cracked over 700 followers over the course of the year. Were very close to 800 followers, which wasn't as much as last year's growth, but man, it was a great year for me in this content. And of course, we did our very first ever around the world flight from Geneva. That was the big pet project for 2023. Is I wanted to do an around the world trip on my own, and we did it with a 77-year-old DC-3, making it across the world in 10 months and 65 legs, which is pretty insane. But I am so happy to get that journey done. Like that was a huge accomplishment, me and the community. And now for 2024, I think we're planning for something bigger. We're gonna do this one twice a week. And unlike the DC-3 around the world trip, we could take all sorts of planes from this trip. We could take the piston engine bush planes, your normal general aviation, twin props, turboprop planes, the prop liners, airliners, business jets, military planes, like military jets. You could take a lot more variety in planes for this one. The only exception is no helicopters. I can't fly choppers. I'm sorry. So, and I mean, there has just been so much growth here. Also, for me, I'm grateful this year for how Firefly Air turned out. I'm very happy to continue to be a huge contributor to Firefly Air and for the virtual airline. That was always been very enjoyable. Continue working for Firefly Air and to help it make it to be the best virtual airline we can make it to be. And I'm very excited for what 2024 is going to bring for me and the community. I'm very excited to continue this around the world trip. Um, I hope that by 2024 we not only get done with the Americas, but hopefully we get with the Americas done and much of East Asia would be done. that works. Yeah, this has been an absolutely awesome stream here today. And guys, I wanted to ask you guys in the chat if you guys have any sort of really great New Year's resolutions for you guys. I hope you guys had some great New Year's resolutions for this upcoming 2024 year. If you got some really cool. So yeah, we're very close to it actually. We are around 280 nautical miles from we're just 280 nautical miles from our stop at West Palm Beach. Let's go over and talk about a few more things. Um, so there is a list of 206 sovereign states in the United Nations, as well. Which includes 193 UN member states, 2 General Assembly non-member states, and 11 other states that seem sovereign but aren't truly recognized. So they're separated into 3 categories. So for example, so here's some examples of some states. So for example, the UN members include the United States of America, the People's Republic of China, and the Russian Federation. Then we have the 2 UN general states, which is 2 states that satisfy the declarative theory of statehood and are recognized only by non-member UN states. And those 2 states are the Republic of Palestine, which is a UN generally administrated state. But it's partially unrecognized. And the other one is the Vatican City, which is it's under the designation of the Holy See. As well, and finally, we have other states, which is a member state of the UN Specialized Agency, but some of them are either have no membership or their sovereignty is disputed by quite a few people. And they include quite a few nations, but some of the most notable include Kosovo, which broke off from Serbia back in 2008. And it's disputed by Serbia because it's claimed to be part of Serbia. We have NEU, which is a member of the 5 Specialized Agency. However, it has no dispute with sovereignty, but instead it's a free association with New Zealand. Of course, Somaliland, which is claimed by Somalia. It's a de facto state, but it has no membership. And finally, the last and probably the most famous of these other states is Taiwan, which is considered to be the Republic of China. It was a UN member state. However, it's not part of UN anymore, and it's partially unrecognized, mainly because it's claimed by the People's Republic of China. So, definitely some pretty important stuff to learn about. And here is North America, which we're going to be starting with North and South America. In terms of North America, there are 23 sovereign states. And here's them listed in alphabetical order, starting from Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Grenada, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and the United States of America. So if you see this in your slides. Yes, these are all the sovereign states in North America we're going to be checking out. That means there's no Bermuda. That means no Bermuda, no Turks and Caicos, no Cayman Islands, no Puerto Rico. That's a U.S. territory, so is the U.S. Virgin Islands. No Anguilla, no Princess Juliana. And the most notable exclusion from all this is Greenland, which is the world's largest island in Greenland. So that is something to definitely keep an eye on when we do all this. So, that's going to be about for a little bit. Yeah, that is what we're going to do this. Also, do check out my Discord if you guys want to do it. I have my Discord set up. I'll post in the chat again. If you guys are liking the stream, definitely smash that follow button. And definitely do check out my Discord. I put a lot of content and updates for all the streams. So I'll post on the channel. We got all sorts of pictures. I have slides and information about all my previous streams, including my 2017 Brooklyn DC3 stream, with all the slides, and of course, I'll also be posted and of course, I'll also be posted and of course, I'll keep everyone up to date for the around the world trip during the stream. So I'll be letting you guys know about the around the world trip on my schedule. So next Friday is going to be our trip entering the Bahamas. So we'll be checking out Freeport, Marsh Harbor, and Rock Sound. That will be on next Friday. Next Sunday will be the rest of it. We'll be checking out Roker's Point, Exuma. Then we make our way to Andros Island, the largest island in the Bahamas, and then make our ending to Nassau. So we're checking out the city of Nassau, and we'll end it there. But that's going to be next week's streams. So that'll be next Friday and Sunday will be these two. And of course, for Wednesday, it's going to be by Firefly Air streams. We'll be doing the Firefly Air stuff on Wednesday still, since not only would that give me about until next Friday to finish the notes, but also just kind of space things out a bit, have time to prepare for the notes. So I think we're a bit of a while until we get to Top of Descent. So Top of Descent will come pretty shortly. Within about 50, 70 nautical miles, we'll get to Top of Descent. into Palm Beach. Here's Florida's Atlantic coast. So right now, we're just past St. Augustine. One of the first Spanish settlements here in Florida. Apparently, around this area was they trying to find the Fountain of Youth by Ponce de Leon. Trying to find the Fountain of Youth around St. Augustine, but very famous for its lighthouse and the Castillo San Marcos. Very famous around the city. So yeah, guys. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get ready. After the stream, we're gonna go check out Allison Johnson's stream. So we're gonna definitely check her out. So yeah, for the rest of the day, once I get done with my stream, I'm just gonna probably do some other VA flying. I got some virtual airline duty schedules to get done. So definitely some important stuff to keep in mind. So I hope you guys are liking this. We won't be in the business jets forever, but thankfully for most of us, most of the streams are going to be in general aviation. There is going to be a few legs we're going to have more than a few. There's going to be more than a few legs that we will require the airliners for. But I usually fly those for good reason. Either because we can get to scenic areas with the general aviation stuff, or sometimes when we get to Oceania, like all the countries in Oceania in the sea, like Palau, Micronesia, the Marshall Islands. They're going to be surrounded by sea, so taking an airliner would be very, very convenient for those areas too. But I'll try to keep the airliner's use pretty low for the most part. Like I said, there'll be exceptions to the rule, but So guys, this is Daytona Beach below us. You guys should probably know about Daytona Beach. Not only was it one of the most famous beaches in the world during its heyday, but Daytona Beach is also famous for, well, being the home of the Daytona Motor Speedway, International Speedway, which is one of the world's premier racing venues, in the globe. Here it is, right over here. There's Daytona International Speedway. I've been to Daytona, myself. Great track, with a really rich history. Hey, Kingsman, good to see you. Good afternoon to you from Indiana, my dude. Happy New Year's is going to come around very soon. Yeah, here's Daytona Speedway, and here's Daytona Beach International, which I've been to. I flew into the Sim plenty of times. Nice airport. I really do enjoy flying to Daytona Beach. Really nice. But yeah, that speedway is massive speedway. I mean, it could seat up to a lot of people. It was constructed back in 1957, and it could reach a capacity of up to 167,000 people, founded by NASCAR founder William Bill France Sr. It can host all sorts of courses, not just NASCAR, but also WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the ARCA Menard Series, Daytona Superbikes, and Supercross Series be held here at Daytona. Yeah, Daytona, very famous, and of course there have been a few fatalities at Daytona. But everyone should probably know the most famous fatality that happened during but the most famous for a lot of people was Dale Earnhardt back in 2001 when he crashed in Daytona, and he ended up being killed. You guys don't remember about Dale Earnhardt? He was one of the most legendary NASCAR drivers of all time. I mean, he was known as the Intimidator. Um, he won over 76 races. He finished in the top 10 428 times during his Cup Series. And he has won 7 Cup Series championships. One of the greatest drivers of all time for NASCAR. One of the greatest drivers in NASCAR's history. And he actually crashed into the final lap due to a skull fracture. He was killed instantly when he made contact with Sterling Martin and Ken Schrader. And because of Earnhardt's death, NASCAR became the focus for safety, maintaining the use of head and neck restraints, safer barriers, rigorous new inspection rules, a roof hatch escape system, and even a brand new car. And since his death, no other driver has died during the race. Which, thank goodness. Which, I mean, like I said, those things suck. But yeah, I thank you so much for the kind words, Kingsman. We're about to make Palm Beach soon. We're just 156 nautical miles. We're about to reach top ascent. So we're gonna check out West Palm Beach, Florida next. West Palm Beach is located in Palm Beach County, Florida. It is the largest city in the county with the population of 117,000 people. It's the oldest incorporated municipality in South Florida, 2 years even before Miami itself. And it's located west of the adjacent Palm Beach. It's definitely had a long history. It was first settled by the natives and mainly by the Seminoles. But during the 1870s, 80s, settlers came down to Lake Worth County, and they became leading members of the business community there, and it grew during the 1890s when Henry Flagler built hotels around this area and helped grew West Palm Beach into a major city, and it grew even more so during the 20s and 50s. It grew even further. with boom population and also the rise of air conditioning. And as a result, it became one of the fastest growing areas in the 50s as well. And since the 1990s, there have been a lot of development and renovation of the 1920 infrastructure and has seen a resurgence in the nightlife area of West Palm Beach. Now, the area is part of Palm Beach itself, which has been home to a lot of some of the very rich and wealthy people lived in this area. In fact, in 2017, Ford reported that Palm Beach itself had 30 billionaires living in the town, which is one of the wealthiest places in the U.S. And many people have resided here, including John F. Kennedy and Donald Trump, who are both U.S. presidents, resided here in Palm Beach. West Palm Beach is a bit more well known, which basically is right next to each other. So we get to visit Palm Beach, and yeah, from Palm Beach, we are not far from the Mar-a-Lago, which is where Donald Trump actually made his residence at the Mar-a-Lago Club. If you guys actually that. Oh yeah. Also, look right below us. Yeah, there's the Kennedy Space Center down below us. There's the Kennedy Space Center down below us. This is where they did the Space Launch Complex and stuff. Here at Kennedy. How cool is that? I mean, that is cool. There's the Kennedy Space Center where they do all the rocket launches. Hey, we have Dane Flats. Dane, good to see you, Dane. Welcome on in. If you guys don't know Dane Flats, a great dude. He makes some great content on his channels. He does a lot of bats and flying. But, dude, he's a very entertaining guy, and I've really been a big fan of Dane's channel for a long time. Thank you for those nice song choices. Oh, thank you, Dane. Yes, it is. I've been to the Kennedy Space Center, Dane. Very, very cool as well. Got to learn all about NASA's involvement with Cape Canaveral. Very, very cool area. Definitely worth checking out when you get your chance to go into Central Florida. You definitely want to check out the Kennedy Space Center. Very, very nice. Oh, look at that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make our descent, actually. So we're going to descend here to, we're going to make our descent to Palm Beach. Yes. Some of them for the memes, but thank you, though. But yeah, it's great to see you, Dane. You got to go hit the kitchen. No worries. Thank you so much. I do agree, though. Florida's a great state. I've been to Florida so many times, Dane. I've been to Florida so many times. I've been to Orlando more than a few times. I mean, it's a great city. I've flown into Orlando International. I've flown to Tampa International. I've flown to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. I've been to a lot of the Florida airports. So I know these areas quite well. But yeah, I really do enjoy my time in Florida, usually. And of course, my parents drove us many times, my family, to Panama City Beach. Super nice place to visit. The beaches there are so beautiful. Like I said, you can't really go wrong with so definitely very, very cool. Thank you for coming on by, as always. Oh, Ford as well. I guess I could read Ford, but I don't really know if Ford is still gonna be around. Yeah, very, very cool. So also around this area, there's Cocoa Beach, which is one of Florida's most famous beaches. Again, Florida's got tons of beaches. There's Cocoa Beach. And then there's Patrick Space Force Base. Yes, the U.S. has a Space Force for some reason. But the U.S. has a Space Force base. How cool is that? Oh, no. Overspeed, overspeed. Whoops. Guess I went a little too fast. His last stream is yesterday, so I only said that because he's still in Florida. Ah, gotcha. Um, in terms of West Palm Beach, here's some pretty interesting places to check out while visiting the city. Yes, spy satellites. Yeah, Donald Trump was the one who established the Space Force. But some places to check out here include Manatee Lagoon, a wildlife center that familiarizes visitors with these gentle giants. Manatees migrate through this area, so definitely check out between November and March. But yeah, the manatees, very cool animals. Basically, if you don't know what a manatee is, manatees are actually mammals. They're part of, they're known as sea cows. They're one of the 3 members living in their species. They're herbivores. They can eat over 60 different freshwater and saltwater plants. And they inhabit the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, the Amazon Basin, and even West Africa. And they're actually members of the family of Cetidae. And you wouldn't believe this, but these animals' closest living relatives are actually elephants and hyraxes. Wait, what? So yeah, these animals are more related um to elephants than anything else, which is pretty cool. But and of course, the other place is Clementis Street Commercial District, the most famous street in West Palm Beach, due to its 1-acre area that makes up its commercial district. And since it was one of the main roads at the time, many local businesses got their starts here at the main business district. Definitely one of the places to check out in West Palm Beach. And there's plenty of other places, and of course, there's plenty of areas around Palm Beach worth checking out. Of course, Palm Beach itself. There's the Flagler Museum. Tons of great houses and restaurants and historic places. So definitely worth checking out. And of course, the final slide for today's stream is Palm Beach International. Palm Beach International is the main airport serving the Palm Beach area. It's the 3rd busiest airport in the Miami metropolitan area after Miami International and Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International. It's dedicated. It's operated by Palm Beach County's Department of Airports. It got its start back in 1936 as Morrison Field, named after Grace Morrison, who is a key participant in the planning of its airfield. Its first flight was on New York bound DC-2 in 1936. It was used by the U.S. Army Air Force during World War II as a training and later staging base for the Allied invasion of France. As Morrison Field, it was also a stopover for flights to and from India via Brazil and West Africa. After the war, it was named Palm Beach Air Force Base. And it did a lot of transportation. It was the host of the 1707 Air Transport Wing, transferring a lot of heavy cargo. However, afterwards, the Air Force Base shut down, and the air unit was moved to Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City. And as a result, it became a commercial airport again, with mainly starting with flights with Delta in 1960. Of course, Air Force One became a very well-known visitor of the airport. It's Air Force One, and it made sense, as President Kennedy actually made there during his early 60s. Then it expanded to the 1970s with destinations across LaGuardia and Miami. However, in the 90s, competition from Fort Lauderdale to Hollywood really hurt the airport. Combine that with the recession and terrorist attacks on September 11th, it prohibited growth even further. Palm Beach has been a popular thing for a lot of discount carriers, making its way there. And of course, Palm Beach then later became another visitor to another president, Donald Trump, when he got elected. So the airport currently has 3 runways, 10 left and 28 right, which is about 10,000 feet. 10 right, 28 left at 3,200 feet, and 1432 at 6,900 feet. Currently, there are a few airlines that operate out of there. Air Canada does seasonal flights from Montreal and Toronto. Allegiant Air does flights from Cincinnati, Asheville, Knoxville, and Pittsburgh. American Airlines does flights from Charlotte, Chicago, O'Hare, Dallas, Fort Worth, Philly, and Washington. Avelo does flights from Raleigh and Durham. Delta does some of their flights from Atlanta, Boston, Detroit. JetBlue does plenty of flights across the Northeast United States, and more. So, yeah, it has no auto throttle. So how can we manage the speed? Well, if we don't have auto throttle, well, we have to manually adjust it, Wheelchair Gamer. We have to manually readjust everything. We don't have to. You're good to see Wheelchair Gaming. No, I just manually set the throttle, but I mean, it's set onto the VNAV path already. I just set this to around 270. Once we get to 10,000 feet, see, I am controlling that. So that's it, guys. That is going to be the last leg. That's the last slide of the stream. Now, I want to get that done early because, well, we're going to be approaching through Palm Beach, and I don't really want to worry about the throttle, so I can focus more on stuff. Yeah, yeah. The beaches here are absolutely stunning here in South Florida. Stunning beaches, stunning lookout. So. Just keep the VNAV path like this, and I mean, we'll be about 250, which would be fine. As long as we're around 250, above below 10,000, I mean, we'll be just fine. I don't really have to worry about breaking all that much. Frankly, giving them the citation when working title merged with the Sobo. Yeah, I can relate to that. But I mean, the citation's still really fun. I really do enjoy flying the citation a bit. Though I can understand they give up a few features for it. I completely understand. So. Okay, 10,000. Whoa. 59, not crosswind. Once we get closer to the waypoint, I'm going to decelerate a bit to below 250. So, I think I can see wind and field actually. which is an airport here in Stuart, Florida. It was used for World War II as an auxiliary air station for training for the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps fighter bomber craft. That's what I believe. Um, according to my little nav map, the speed restriction's below 250, but we can actually get there beforehand. Go ahead and load and just drop down the speed. That is the main speed restriction, so I'm gonna drop this. Below 250. It says B250 on my nav map, so we need to be below 250. Once we cross that, I think we'll be good. We're doing pretty good. Look outside. That is nice. Oh, yeah, my air rack's out of date. Okay, the location will be tuned. So, guys, let's go ahead and make our lane predictions for the day. Now it's now the captain too. That was one heck of a jet stream over there. It sure is. Let's do our lane prediction, guys. The first lane prediction of this new around the world trip. Exclamation point predict. Type in a negative number, and we'll prepare for our first ever around the world flight. Go ahead and do your lane predictions. Yeah. Okay, negative 300. That's not a bad one. Let's see how good we can get the lane prediction. Now, after we get to fairway, our next waypoint is going to be Etmo, which is going to be at 4,000 feet, but I have to reduce it below 210 knots. So, gotta keep that down. Yeah, you need to maintain until vectors. Exactly, gotta maintain. worries. Definitely, we're gonna make our way here. Man, can't believe that we are gonna get the first day done. It says so 210. You gotta maintain until it says at 210. Yeah. It says below 210. So as long as I keep the speed below, I don't think we really have to worry about it too much. That's just a restriction. Yeah, I see Palm Beach in the distance. But the big deal here is so we can get, and the reason I picked this airport particularly to start the journey is because of all the airports. Palm Beach is going to be one of the closest to the Bahamas. So, and I really like to get to the Bahamas quickly. Hey, good to see you, Foxtrot. Fox, good to see you. Guys, if you give a shout out for Foxtrot. Foxtrot, if you guys don't know about him, he's one of my closest friends in the flight sim community, an excellent content creator, and an amazing, amazing dude. Good to see you, Fox. Happy New Year's Day to you. We're going to travel to Palm Beach here today. We're traveling our way down to Palm Beach, Florida. We started from my home airport in Clark Regional. 800. It's an 802 nautical mile flight between the two airports. Um, so we went down through Kentucky, the Great Smoky Mountains, through Georgia, and we went through along the Atlantic coast of Florida. Got to see Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Daytona, Port Canaveral. So we got to see quite a bit stuff here. But yeah, this is day one. I posted on my Discord for here. Um, but 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 I already set up for the first 7 days of our trip, which is pretty crazy. So the first 7 days is going to be U.S. to Bahamas. The U.S., Bahamas, Cuba, and Jamaica will be the first four countries we're going to check out. Um, I'm going to go ahead and those first. I'm going to open up the first stage of flaps. Flaps ready. And the landing gear. And approach. Here it is. And we got approach mode. Yay. Woohoo. Approach mode. Nice, we got the localizer. So, here's Palm Beach. Right in the distance.
Altitude.
Like I said, this isn't my first stream with this thing. How to fly this thing. I did this for a FS Expo trip to Houston Hobby out of it. So, like I said, it's not. This is going to be a great opportunity to get more familiar with the business jets again, which is going to be super nice. Because I do like flying the business jet. Like the Citation and this are definitely very enjoyable planes to fly. If we get lucky, guys, if we find the Mar-a-Lago, I'll take a picture of it. You guys. But here's Palm Beach. I do like this airport. I love this airport a bit. It's definitely quite a nice airport for sure. And again, compared to Fort Lauderdale and Miami, it isn't nearly as busy, but it's still a great area to fly. And of course, there's also now a new there's also going to be a new scenery upcoming for this airport from Vertical Sim, which they're going to work on Palm Beach, which is definitely going to be a very very nice hub. It'll be a very very nice airport when it comes to the sim because, like I said, I do like Palm Beach. Location's nice. All right, guys, we just caught glide slope. Yeah. Oh, nice. You're gonna do an Anchorage trip. Oh, nice, Skyman. I can't wait. I hope you're liking this stream, Skyman. If you are enjoying the stream and you want to continue supporting the channel, why don't you continue to smash the follow button? Ah, yes. Yeah, Anchorage has some really fun approaches, for sure. Anchorage, definitely a great airport. I've flown out of Anchorage. Dining facility. All right, guys. The moment we've been waiting for. We'll take a picture of the Mar-a-Lago Club, where Donald Trump stayed during his time as president. Here's the Mar-a-Lago Club. Beautiful. This is stunning. This is stunning approach. All right, guys. Yeah. We basically do exactly do 180 to the VUR and then dodge 45 degrees right. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Anchorage is definitely really cool. You're surrounded by the mountains and stuff. It's always fun. Here we go, guys. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Yeah, Palm Beach, everyone. Our first stop of the world tour. Um, like I said, not all of our streams are going to be with the business jets or the business jets. We're gonna have a lot more GA stuff coming. There it is.
Autopilot.
Beautiful one. That was 73. That was a butter landing. Pound. We go into the GA area, which is the Central Flight Support. That's where the business jet. That was a great Centerline taxi. That's what. What's that? Oh, Centerline taxi. Centerline. Whoops, sorry. I'm gonna turn off some of the lights. Keeps this Centerline taxi. So, but yeah, what a nice way to kick off this journey, guys. Perfect way to kick it off. Oh, he started the flight from Memphis to Anchorage at about 5 for departure this morning. The sun's trying to catch up. Whoops. There we go. Park right here. Well, guys, we did it. Hard to believe that this was the very first flight of our around the world trip. Welcome to Palm Beach, guys. Absolutely incredible flying, guys. Turned out this was actually a really smooth flight. Everything worked out the way it needed to be. So, guys, that's it. The first day of our around the world trip. Man, what a great way to start. Um, so, guys, thank you so much for helping me close off 2023 in a great way. What a fun flight. So, guys, thank you so much for an incredible 2023 with such an amazing community. So, guys, thank you for everything. Um, I hope that 2024 would be even better. I can't wait to do more of this journey with you guys. I am super excited for this. So, guys, we will be back on Wednesday at Dublin. We'll be doing some 787 flying from a Dublin. I don't know which destination. I'll let you guys know on Monday. But guys, see you then, and I hope you guys have an amazing New Year's, everyone. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.